Tuesday, and welcome to our live episode of Seasons of Sunflower Hour. I am so excited over here, guys. I'm just ripping out the microphone straight out of my ears. Well, I hope everyone is having an incredible November. The holidays are just around the corner. I can't believe how fast everything is moving. Thanksgiving is going to be coming up really soon, Christmas, and in the spirit of giving, in the spirit of being thankful, and in the spirit of just helping each other out, I just want to send a reminder out to everybody that Giving Tuesday is just around the corner. It's coming up on December 2nd. That's such a cool moment. It's where we get to really highlight, just for all kinds of great causes, charities, especially ours, ALS United. It's an opportunity to give back and make a conscious decision to want to help other people. So when Giving Tuesday arrives, if you feel the desire to want to help, to want to make a difference in the lives of those battling ALS, we would love for you to reach out and to donate, because every dollar that is raised goes towards this fight. It goes to helping those that are battling this disease so that we can offer all of our services completely free of charge. So keep that in mind. December 2nd is coming up, Giving Tuesday. You can find out all that information and how to donate on our website at alsunitedchicago.org. Check that out. Now, if you are brand new to the show, if you have never tuned in before, welcome. I'm so glad to have you as part of the Sunflower Hour family. Make sure that you guys hit that follow button, that subscribe button, whatever all those buttons are, hit them so that you can join us again and you never miss an episode, because we have so many cool guests, so many cool stories, and just so many cool things to share with you guys to keep you up to date on all things ALS United. And I don't want you to miss anything. Now, if you are a veteran of our show, if you have been tuning in, that is amazing. I love seeing you guys again. So you know how much I love seeing you blow up the comment section. Make sure you let us know that you're tuning in, where you are, all the good stuff. And hey, if you feel like it, share with us what your Thanksgiving Day plans are. What are you guys doing? Is anyone getting up to anything cool, crazy, traveling, any favorite family dishes? Anything that you would like to share with the group tonight? Throw that up in the chat section. Oh, I see people already chiming in, which is amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That means so much to us here. Now, we are going to kick things off tonight. We're going to get right into it because we've got some incredible guests. Now, tonight's episode it's kind of has a theme. We're joined by some incredible athletic talent on this show tonight. Our first guest has taken his love for running all the way to Germany. As part of Team ALS, he ran with a purpose to spread awareness in the memory of Uncle Art. Now, here to share his story, please welcome Germany marathon finisher and Team ALS runner, Jeremy Miller.
Hey,
Hey, Jeremy, how's it going?
good. How about you?
Oh, fantastic. I am so pumped to have you here. I think this is so exciting, and I hope that people get the excitement of what this means. We're talking about you're part of Team ALS. You are running a marathon, but you're not running the Chicago Marathon. You're not running in the States. You're running in Germany. So I cannot wait to dive into how all of that happened. But let's take it back to the beginning, because I want to know how you even got into running. We were talking, and I have a feeling it started, not even I have a feeling, you told me that you got into running because of a very beautiful woman in your life. So share that story with us.
Yeah, so I had run a little bit just to get back in shape after school, but when I met my wife, Laura, she had been running for a very long time, since before we met, but I had gone to watch her do a marathon when she was qualifying for Boston,
Mm.
and just seeing the atmosphere and everything, it really kind of got me addicted to it as well, I guess you could say. And so with her support and coaching and everything, yeah, she got me into running. And after seeing her do Boston, New York, it really stuck with me that I wanted to try a marathon as well. And so she helped me do that with Chicago, and then eventually led to running another one in Germany. So it's because of her for sure that I got into doing this, and she's been the best support I could have during any training, whether it's a 5K or the marathon.
That's awesome. Have you guys ever run a marathon together, or does she come on training and run with you?
We have not run a marathon together since since we first started dating. She's ran 4 marathons, and then it was after she ran her last one with, I think it was New York was the last one. She kind of quote unquote retired from marathons, and then that's when I did my first one. So I got to watch her do 4, and then she's gotten to watch me do 2. So it's actually worked out well that we've been able to watch and support each other instead of being in the same race.
Yeah. That's amazing. You kind of carry the torch. When she took
Mhm.
a step back, you picked it right up and you just kept going for the family.
Yep, pretty
I
much.
love
Yeah, it's been really cool doing it that way.
I love that. So was she on the sidelines for every marathon and vice versa?
Yep. Both times, Chicago and Berlin, I got to see her. Chicago, a couple times during the race, I got to see her, and then Berlin, it was, I think, with like mile 20, I finally got to see her. And then in New York, Boston, the one outside Chicago, and Chicago, yeah, I got to watch her those 4. So yeah, it's been really cool just to be able to actually see each other and stuff during the races and everything.
Yeah, that's so cool. And like we said in the intro and right now too. So you went from Chicago Marathon, which is amazing. That in itself is just iconic. I mean, what was that like
Sorry,
for
you broke up
you?
on that question.
Chicago. You got to run the Chicago Marathon, which is that in itself is super iconic. So what was
hmm
that whole experience like? That was your first
Uh,
marathon, right? Chicago?
yeah, yep, it was
Woo.
cool. I mean, I lived in Chicago for a few years during law school and everything, and so I was familiar with the city and stuff. But it was, yeah, it was really nerve wracking, being the first marathon, but having Laura there, and then one of her running friends was actually running it as well for the same charity at that time, and so having her there, her friend, and then both of our parents, sets of parents were there as well. So that was really awesome. And then, I started the race with Laura's friend running with me. So having kind of someone to kind of coach me through the first 5K and then letting me take off from, it was very helpful and very supportive when, yeah, it was extremely nerve wracking to do my first one.
Yeah. But you did it. You did it, and,
Mhm.
like I said, what a big one to start with. I think that is so cool.
Yeah.
I've heard so many people talk about just how you can't even express the feelings at that start line or when you hit that finish line. There's something so incredible about the Chicago Marathon.
Yeah, it was really cool. It really, the adrenaline kick you get at the beginning is something, it's hard to describe, and really
Yeah.
you only experience it if you ever do a marathon like that. One of the big majors. It's, yeah, the adrenaline kick is just really, really something cool.
So cool. And then obviously you weren't ready to stop because then you found your way all the way across the ocean and you're a Berlin marathon finisher now, which is incredible. So what led to that? How did you get from I want to start doing this to I'm going to fly across the country to do another marathon?
So I wanted to do a second one this last year, and it happened to work out that one of Laura's running friends, she is originally from Germany, lives here in the States now, and she got married to another runner within the Quad Cities area, and they both end up running Berlin as well. They got in, and so they kind of planned a week long wedding celebration over in Germany as well, and we got invited. And so Laura and I were, when we were talking about whether or not to go, um, it was scheduled around the marathon for them. And so I looked for charities and it worked out with ALS United. And so it worked out that, having those two running the marathon and their wedding celebration that we were invited to being scheduled around the marathon, it worked out really well that, it was a kind of a once in a lifetime chance to try to get into the marathon to do it. So,
Absolutely. And then what I think is really cool too, because it's not like you just sort of picked a random charity out of the hat. This worked
mhm,
out, and I think that the universe had a bit of a beautiful plan happening behind the scenes. You ended up
mhm.
becoming part of Team ALS. You ended up being able to get into this marathon. The timing worked out perfect, and then you find, or I shouldn't say and then, but you had a connection to actually ALS United. You didn't know at the time yet. How did
Mhm.
that all play out?
So, my mother-in-law had an uncle that she was extremely close with, who unfortunately passed from ALS last fall. And so when we're looking through charities that were connected to Berlin Marathon, I wanted to find a local one as well, but one that kind of was connected to one of our two families. And yeah, one of the first ones that popped up was ALS United, and Laura and I were both like, yeah, this would be a great chance to kind of honor Art and everything and
Mm,
what he meant to my wife's family and my mother-in-law and everything. So,
mm,
yeah, we sat down and it worked out that I got accepted into charity, and it was just really cool to, you know, learn more about art during the fundraising and just being able to
mm,
spread the word and a way to honor him and my mother-in-law at the same time for what they mean to my wife and I and everything. So it was really cool to have that connection to the charity. And,
mm,
I got to meet Art, a few times at weddings and everything the last few
mm,
years. And, meeting new family and everything, the in-laws, it's stressful, but he was one of the many that he treated me like he had known me forever. And so it made everything
mm,
so easy. And he was a great guy to talk to and just so easy to get along, and yeah, acted like he had knew me forever. So it was, he was a
mm.
great guy to meet and get to know those few times. And so I was happy to be able to do something for him in that way.
I love that. Do you feel like the marathon felt different for you compared to running another marathon? Like now that you had this personal connection, now that you had this why behind what you were doing it and you were running for art, did it feel different?
It did, and it's hard to describe, but it was really a tough year of training with how hot and humid it was here, and how hot and humid ended up being in Berlin for the race. And so it was a really just good mental motivator. Whenever I was struggling, I would tell myself what I was doing it for and why and stuff like that. So it was a really good extra motivator when it was really tough to get out there in the afternoons when I had to run then, and it was just very hot. And if I was struggling, I really would think about art and what I was doing it for, and that really helped get through some tough runs, especially the marathon day as well.
Yeah, you were telling us before the show, right? It was kind of a record. It beat the record for the hottest temperature of the marathon,
Mhm.
right? Insanity.
Yeah, it was extremely hot. I think it hit 81 as the high, and
Mm.
I think it was 77 degrees when I even started. So we're starting almost right in the heat of the day, and so yeah, it was a
Oh
very
gosh.
tough race. It was felt like there was no clouds in the sky. It was just extremely sunny and
Mm.
hot, and so yeah, it just having we added Art's name onto my ALS United singlet just as an extra way to honor him, and so it was a good motivator to think of that when I was really struggling during the marathon towards the back end of
Ah.
it.
God, I can't even imagine, and especially in that kind of heat. So I
Mhm.
think those whys are so important. Like you said, to be able to draw on something and know that you were doing this for those that can't. We always say this that you're running for those that can't, that lost their ability to even walk or even speak. What you're doing is making such a huge impact to so many people. So I think
Thank
that's
you.
really, really cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Thank
Appreciate it.
you. Thank you for running. Thank you for being part of Team LS because you're making this happen. You're a huge part of all the things that we do and are able to provide. It's because of amazing people like you that are saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to run 26.2 miles to help someone else. That is the most beautiful type of insanity. I think it's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's an honor to do it for a charity, like ALS United, and especially one that's close to home, being in Chicago as well and everything. So really cool.
I love that. What did it mean to Art's wife? I can only imagine how incredible that would be to just know that your husband inspired something as big as this. This isn't a small feat. For someone to commit to something like this is huge. So, what did that mean to his wife?
Well, we told her about where I was running it for art, but we wanted to kind of hold back the full extent so that we would raise the money for her instead of her contributing in any way to, make
Mm,
it more of a full surprise and everything for her.
yeah,
But we sat down with her about a month, I think, before the raise to give her the whole story and how much we raised and everything for him. And um, it was really cool to talk to her about it and tell her. And you could tell it meant a lot to her that we're doing it for
yeah,
art. And then it was really cool that she had even mentioned that she donates to ALS United and stuff like that. The last,
so cool.
I think, every month pretty much since art passed, that she also donates to the charity. So it was a really cool kind of
Wow,
full circle moment with
yeah.
her, that she has the connection to ALS United as well because of art and everything that happened. So it was really cool to talked to her about it, and it ended up being the same charity she likes to contribute to as well.
So cool. Did you hit your goal? Did you guys hit your I say you guys, you and your wife, did you hit your fundraising goal?
Yeah, we did. I think we went 80, $100 over the 5,000. So it was, I mean, it's a lot of
Oh,
money, but it was really cool
ooh,
the number of people, family, friends that donated, even just
mhm.
a neighbor down the street I ran into
Wow.
one night during the summer
Mm,
said send the link and he donated. So it was really awesome to see the support of family, friends, other people in the running community around here and stuff like that. So it was, I mean, it's a lot of money to raise, and but
yeah.
the support and everything, it makes it so much worth it, and the effort and everything. So it was awesome to get the support from even people outside of family and friends for it.
That's really amazing to hear because I think a lot of times, and I totally get it, it can be scary to running a marathon itself can be scary, but then thinking, oh my gosh, I have to fundraise too. That can be really scary for some people. So I think it's beautiful that you saw people are actually really willing to help. People want to
Hmm.
help. They want to support you. They want to see you hit your goals. So you're the perfect example of what it can do by just putting yourself out there and asking people. Did you find the whole fundraising process to be enjoyable and maybe easier than you thought?
Um, having done it previously for Chicago and
Mm.
everything, I kind of had an idea on what you need to do. I kind of got a lot of the nerves out of the way the first time doing it, but
Fair.
it was really cool. We went down to my mother-in-law's hometown for um, a church event, and so talking to her sisters and family and everything about that were raising it for art, it was really cool to talk to them and get their support and say how
Mm,
awesome everything was that we're doing this and everything. So when you explain people why you're
mhm.
fundraising, it really made it fun and more meaningful when you get to actually explain why and for who and stuff like that. It makes it really um, fun and more enjoyable to do that when you get to show the reasons.
I love that. Now, what are can you share some highlights with us? The maybe many of us have never even been to Berlin before. So what was it like to just go there to run the marathon? Maybe what were some of your favorite moments from that experience?
Um, Definitely. So I got
Show
to
this. Look at that. That is
thanks.
incredible.
So definitely at the start, it was really cool to experience it with a running friend of ours from the Quad Cities as well, Hannah. There's Jay. That's
Oh
his
my
first race he
gosh.
got to do, our 16-month-old.
Oh,
But at the start, it was
beautiful.
really cool to go to the start line and everything with a family friend of ours, a running friend, and start the race with her and see the start line and how they get the crowd, chanting and pumped up for the run. And I did the first 5 miles with her before I had to slow down a little bit and see her take off. And then just getting to see a lot of the
I
history
love this.
aspects of Berlin, and I love history and seeing all the historical places, and so getting to see a lot of that on the marathon um, trail and everything was great. And then that first picture you showed, getting to finish under the Brandenburg Gate, was one of the coolest things I've ever done when it comes to sports or anything like that. Just knowing
Look
the
at that.
history
Is
of
that
that,
right? Is that
yeah,
towards the end? Is that towards the
yeah.
end of the race?
There's like maybe 50 yards to go from right there. So you get to run under the gate, which is
Oh my
behind me,
gosh.
and then I think it's a couple hundred yards from there where the finish line is at. So just being able to run under that gate, knowing the
Wow.
history of it and how it's been through so much history and seen so much in Berlin,
Mm,
from the 1800s and everything, that it was just really cool to get to finish under that gate and see everything while you're running through the city. And
that's
then,
incredible. This is my
you know,
favorite, by the way. I just love this
thanks.
so, so much.
I'll give Laura the credit that that was her idea to get Uncle Art's name on the singlet in some way. So we went out and got some iron-on letters to put his name on there to make it a little more personal and everything, to add to
So
the
cool.
team shirt and everything. So it was really cool to do that. And let other people see who it's for and
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
And then yeah, getting to see Laura at about mile 20, I was really struggling at that time, and seeing her where I needed her most when I was really struggling
Mm,
was awesome. It meant a ton. And then so we left
mm.
Berlin the day after, and we got to go to Oktoberfest in Munich, which is this picture here.
Aw,
That was a blast being able to celebrate the wedding and then the marathon with our friends that were with us and everything. So we got to spend a day at Oktoberfest in Munich, and then uh, we went to Neuschwanstein Castle, which is the Sleeping Beauty castle that
ooh.
Disney designed the castle after. So we
Oh,
got to spend a day trip there, and then we finished up in uh, Vienna, Austria
okay.
for the wedding celebration, and we got to spend a day exploring Vienna and everything as well. So it was a once in a lifetime trip to say the least,
Yeah.
to be able to do a marathon like that and then also just explore some of the cities around Germany and Austria. It was amazing.
You packed a lot. You packed a lot in it feels
Yeah.
like a short amount of time, and I don't even know how your legs were functioning, but good for you.
Yeah, so yeah, the trip to the castle was 2 days after, and
Mm,
there was a lot of stairs involved in getting to the castle, in the castle, and then walking down the mountainside to the city where the bus was
wow.
parked. And I felt fine until about a half hour on the bus ride home. My quads and everything were really starting to burn then. Um, that's when it really hit me, was, not after the marathon or the day after. It was 2 days after touring a castle and all that walking up and down the hills, that it really burned then.
Oh my gosh. But you made like you said, once in a lifetime opportunity. That is
Yeah,
so incredible. With the whole
yeah.
run process, I'm just enamored by people that can do this because I cannot. So I think it is so amazing that you could do this. I've heard so many runners talk about just the basically the running high and even through the training process that it's something that's kind of cathartic or something that could be relaxing, or those that have lost someone to ALS, they do that to feel closer to them, or it helps them process those emotions, or just give kind of a spiritual meaning to things. I've just heard so many amazing things about running in general and that training process. So what is running, what has that meant to you, and maybe did you learn anything about yourself through the whole process of training and finishing that marathon and crossing that, yeah, just crossing that finish line and getting that medal?
Yeah, so, um, I like to run by myself when I train instead of
Mhm.
chatting with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of find it's people in a way. I mean, the last thing you want to do at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning is go run, you know, 10 or so miles when you're in the peak of
Yeah.
training. But, in the middle of it and at the end, it's hard to describe how good it feels. Even though you may be hurting at the moment, it feels really
Okay.
good. And yeah, it's a peaceful thing where you can just go out. And
Yeah.
here we're lucky to live on the Mississippi River, so running along the river is really cool here,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just a peaceful thing to do where it's quieter down there, and you're just running, listening to music. And um yeah, it's just a peaceful thing. And you know you learn a lot about yourself in that you can do it. I know you say you can't, but you could.
Yeah.
um yeah, it's just you learn a lot about yourself, that you can push through certain struggles physically
Yeah.
and even mentally, where the last thing you want to do is get up and do it. But when you finish those really long training runs, it's a really cool feeling that, hey, I can do this. It maybe struggle at times. My first
Yeah.
super long run did not go well, but the second one, it went amazing. And so it's a really good mental and physical builder at the
Yeah.
same time. And having the support of Laura and our parents and everything, that really helps with motivation more than I can say. And you know,
Oh,
I always put in my head that when Jay gets older, our little one, that
yeah.
if he wants to run and struggles, that show that his parents could do it, he can do it too. It's
Oh,
a mental game just as much as physical. So just got to know
yeah.
you can do it, and you will. So
Yeah. So maybe there might be a father-son marathon down the line in the future happening together.
we'll see.
Maybe.
If he wants to do that,
Yeah.
that'd be really cool to experience.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he already did his first race when we got back. I think it was like 2 weeks after we got back. He did a little 50-yard dash at my
Oh.
wife's work at John Deere and everything, so it was really cool to see him do a little kid run like that, and, he is so full of energy. I would be shocked if he doesn't do something like running because he's got
Okay.
to get that energy out somehow. So, yeah, it'd be great if we could do something like that
Yeah.
together, whether it's even a 5K around here and see him
Yeah.
and Laura do one together and stuff. It'd be really cool.
So cool. I feel like that's a future Team ALS runner possibly in the making
Yeah,
as he
that would
keeps
be
going.
great. Yeah, that'd be
So cool.
great to see him do something like that.
So cool. So, so cool. Now, all of those great things that running does for you, I love that. What about the hard stuff? Because I can't imagine it's easy. What was the most difficult part of training for you?
Definitely the heat. Um,
Okay.
I don't know why, but when I trained for the one 2 years ago, I know it was hot. I trained during the summer, but just for some reason, this summer hit a lot different. It was hot and
Mm,
humid most of the entire summer when
wow.
training. Even getting up early, it was still pretty dang humid. And so that just really hit me hard this year.
Okay.
I would get tired and dehydrated a lot faster than what I was normally used to.
Okay.
Um, so it was those longer runs having to get up
So,
even more early to try to beat the heat and the
mhm,
humidity. It was just tough having to deal with that.
mm,
And then we kept thinking, average temperature in Berlin, the time of the marathon is mid low 60s. So training in the heat would be great, get you ready for the cool weather, and then end up being just running in the heat there too. So um, it was difficult, but it did help
yeah,
in that way to be able to get used to what you need to do to run in the heat when it
yeah,
did hit the marathon day. But
yeah.
absolutely, the heat and humidity this year was the
Okay.
toughest part.
It's the toughest. But you did it. I was saying that before. I think
Yeah.
it's so cool that you did it. Like you said, your body is capable of incredible things and you did it, you pushed
Hmm.
through. And as you mentioned too, I think that why was so important that in those moments you had the thing you were fighting for, the reason that you
Yep.
were running so that you could finish it for Uncle Art. I think that's really beautiful.
Thank
Any
you.
do you have any kind of superstitions or any, like, maybe pump up songs you were listening to or anything you were doing during the marathon? Lucky socks, anything that was happening?
So I had a running playlist. I am
Okay.
an unabashed Backstreet Boys fan.
No.
So yeah, they are my go-to along with
That is
Linkin Park and stuff like that. I always listen to the same songs
okay.
that I've been listening to since I was a kid. So
Okay.
yeah, Backstreet Boys, Linkin Park for the last 25 years easily are my
That's
go-to
so
songs.
funny.
So yeah, those are my big two bands and then some other stuff mixed into, but yeah, definitely
I hope
Linkin
that the
Park and
Backstreet Boys
Backstreet
hear
Boys.
this, because I think that they should definitely be super pumped to know of all the things you would listen to running a marathon. I'm not gonna lie, Backstreet Boys probably I would have never guessed that. So I love that you took the
Yep.
BSB on the with you on your playlist. I was an NSYNC girl, and back when I was younger, we're probably about the same age, right? It was kind of
Mhm.
NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys. So I
Yep.
was on the other side of the coin. I was the NSYNC girl.
We all make mistakes. It's fine.
I was gonna say the same thing to you, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Now, did
yeah,
NSYNC make your playlist at all? Was there even just one NSYNC song? Did you like them at all?
yeah, there's one
Okay,
of theirs on there, and it was their newest one. They came out last year on Justin Timberlake's album. I think that was the one I had on there from them.
okay. It's
They had
okay.
the
I
newest
like you
one from
said,
last year, I think. So yeah,
I'll
that one.
forgive
But
you. We
otherwise,
do all
it's
make mistakes, but
yeah. So yeah,
oh,
I don't mix up my music very often. So the same songs I listen to training, I listen to during the marathon as well. They're easy
so
songs
funny.
to zone out to and make the time go by faster as well. So,
Okay. What's your go-to Backstreet Boy song? What's the one you're never getting sick of, you can listen to on repeat?
oh, there's a few of them.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Uh, Shape of My Heart is one that me and my
Ah,
wife on our first date, we asked at the same time, "What's our favorite Backstreet Boys song?" And we both said that one. Um,
um,
our son Jay, to get him at sometimes to relax and stuff before bed, we play "Drowning" by the Backstreet Boys for him, and he loves that song. He will stop whatever he's doing to listen to it and watch the music video. So that is a go-to for us, for both Laura and I, but also Jay now too. It's hilarious. And he does like In Sync as well. There's This I Promise You. He loves that song as well to listen
yes,
to before bed. So those are our
yes.
go-to songs for him. But it's really, I have the entire last Backstreet Boys album on my playlist, so it there's no bad song for me when it comes to them. So,
Oh my
well, yeah,
I
I mix it
love
up
it.
with
I
them
knew
quite a
we were
bit.
gonna be friends. I knew that we I knew there was something I liked about you, even though it's more Backstreet Boys than NSYNC, but love your musical taste. I think that's amazing.
Thank
And
you.
not only do I love your taste, but I love that you are starting your little man young. He's gonna be a
Yep,
Backstreet Boy and NSYNC loving Team ALS runner.
yep.
We might as well just start him young. I love this. I really do hope that Backstreet Boys, just so you know, you helped him get across the finish line at the Berlin Marathon. So I don't know how many
Yep,
people can
and
say that. So I think that's a
they
big
were
deal.
actually yeah, they were actually my first ever concert too, not too long ago, just a few years ago. So, yeah, it's
What?
yeah, I
Wait
don't
a second,
care
you
if
just
you
had your
judge or
first
not, I
concert a
love the
couple
Backstreet
years
Boys,
ago?
so yeah, I had never been to one,
W
and we decided when we saw that they're on tour, we decided to go with a friend of mine and his wife. And yeah, my first ever concert was at the age of 34, and it was Backstreet Boys. Yep.
Love every second of that. Was that the greatest experience of your life?
It was awesome. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to go to a Linkin Park concert as well since then. And yeah, seeing, two bands I've followed for,
Yeah,
going on 3 decades now, seeing them both live, it was awesome. Yeah, just my first concert, being with Laura and a friend and his wife and everything.
yeah.
It was a blast to go, and we would love to go to Vegas too to see them in the Sphere. It'd be great, but who knows?
Yes. Hey, I mean, it's on the bucket list now. So I think
Hmm.
that life is short, right? That's if there is one thing that we can learn from ALS, it's that life is
Yep.
short. So you take those moments and you guys make it to Vegas. I hope you get to check that off your bucket list. I That's amazing.
Yeah, it'd be
Now,
it'd be great, and yeah, it's having Jay. It's fun to try to do these experiences, and when he gets older, he can go with and
yeah.
learn and see all these experiences as well. Whether we go to New York or Boston or Chicago again, it'd just be great to have him see those experiences for the first time too. So yeah, it's definitely you learn not to let things slip by
Yeah.
and do as much as you can when you can. So absolutely.
Yeah, it's true. In kind of in that theme, I mean, have you been a little bit bit by the charity running bug? Are you ready to put the blast the Backstreet Boys again and cross another finish line for Team ALS?
Yeah, it was a blast. Running for a charity is great. It's really tough to get into Chicago, New York,
Yeah,
Berlin, all of them with the lottery. If for
yeah.
people who aren't, you know, super fast at marathons to where you can get in with your
Mhm.
time, and not lucky enough to get in with the uh, the lottery. I mean, it's a small percentage chance to get in, and so just running for a
Yeah,
charity, it's really cool the support you get from the charity, and you know how to fundraise and the support throughout when you're struggling with it and stuff like that. It really makes it fun, and adding that extra motivation, it really does push you a lot more than you might actually think. And so it's really a cool experience. And getting to wear the charity shirt during the race too is
yeah,
really cool. We talked about, I probably won't wear the ALS United one for another race just because of keeping it special for just Berlin and stuff. So
mm,
yeah, it's just really cool to do it for more than yourself. You're the one who
yeah,
gets to do the race and everything, but helping in any way you can for
yeah.
anybody, it just means extra, and it makes it more special. And it helps you through tough times knowing that, you're struggling on a rung, but it's far worse for other people that you're trying to
It's
help.
true.
So
It's
it really,
true.
it's
And you
really
had
cool.
kind of I love that. And you'd mentioned maybe the 6 world majors. So we might be expanding that bucket list of yours besides, Backstreet Boys with the Spear. Is this something that you're really thinking about, possibly the 6 world majors?
I mean, it's a big dream for sure. I mean, it's definitely not anything that would happen anytime soon. It might be like
Mm,
more of a lifetime goal to do someday,
mm,
or try to do the three here in the United States at least.
yeah.
Boston is the pinnacle of all of them, and seeing Laura do that one, her dream come true with that, like that would be amazing to somehow get into Boston, whether it's charity
So
or
cool.
time qualifying. But
Mm.
yeah, just being able to run one in Berlin, it would be really cool to do Tokyo and London as well. We have a friend, um, her and her husband both are actually running Tokyo in March, and so I'm really excited
Oh,
to see
wow.
what their experience is doing one international as well. It's his first marathon, so his first one's going to be in Tokyo. It's going to be
Wow.
awesome. So it's cool. And then Laura has another running friend who she just ran her first marathon a couple years ago, and I think she's through 4 of the 6. And so
Wow.
seeing others do it, it's really
Yeah.
cool. Again, it's more of a maybe a lifetime goal, something to do in the
Okay.
future. With Jay and everything, it's going to be more difficult, but yeah, it's definitely something. It would be really cool to, even if Laura and I together did the 6, would be a
Yeah.
really cool experience to do. So it's definitely something to think about as the future goes on. And I know ALS
Yeah.
United is involved with most, if not all, the 6 at this
Yeah.
point. So it'd be really cool to, yeah, to try to do ALS United again for one of them. It'd be really cool.
I know you can hit Tokyo next. Which is so cool. I
Yep.
love being able to even say that I mean, we've expanded so big now we
Mhm.
are international, which is so cool. We get to have Team ALS members running marathons around the world. I think that is so, so cool. So cool.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, ALS United was part of Tokyo now.
Yeah.
When I was just looking at the charities and stuff when we heard our friends were running. So yeah, look through and maybe future date. It'd be great to do it again, especially for the same charity,
Crazy.
same reason, everything like that. To continue it on. It'd be really cool. It's definitely the
Yeah.
go-to charity I'll look at in the future if I get the chance again. So
I
be really
love
cool.
that. Now, since you are gonna run marathons again, because 'cause you're not throwing in the towel, um, no, look, no restrictions here. I just wanna hear
Hmm.
if you could run with anybody. I know you like to run by yourself, but let's pretend we're gonna run the marathon, you're gonna have someone by your side. Who in the world? Here, not here, anyone, celebrity, not celebrity, anyone in the world, who would you want running alongside you?
As probably corny as it may sound, it'd probably be Laura.
Oh,
And it'd
yeah.
be cool to do Boston with her. I know she's already done it once.
Yeah.
Um, but seeing how much it meant to her, I got to be at the
Mm.
first marathon I ever saw her run was the one she qualified for Boston for. And it was a
Oh,
year to the day before she ran Boston with the same friend she ran Boston with.
wow.
Just seeing how much it meant to her and how cool it was, and seeing how excited she was leading up to Boston, it'd be really cool just to run that race with her. Just be next to her to have her, see her experience through Boston again would be really, really cool. So I would have to say,
Oh,
yeah, with her in Boston would be
yeah.
amazing.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to check in on this later and see if you guys have done that together. You guys can be singing "Shape of My Heart" as you're running running the Boston Marathon together. That's amazing.
I might be too tired to sing it out loud, but I'll definitely be singing it in my head.
Fair. Yes, that's fair. That is fair. Look, I don't even I'm telling you, the idea of even just going like a half a mile exhausts me. So truly, I really mean this. I think it's incredible. Hats off to you
Thank
for
you.
what you have done and why you are doing it. I think the reason behind this is incredible. And it is
Hmm.
no easy feat to do all of that, especially like you said, you flew in the day before, you run this insane marathon, and you did that to raise money for those battling ALS. So I cannot thank you enough for everything that you have done and continue to do for ALS awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. And just thanks for picking me to be part of the team and allowing me to do it too. I mean, I couldn't have done any of it if I wasn't picked. So it was a really fun experience, and I'm glad I got to do it and enjoyed every aspect of it. Everyone along the way was amazing to work with, and yeah, again, just happy I was able to do it.
Oh, amazing. Well, I cannot wait to see what happens for you next when you hit those 6 world marathons, or if you do get to run with your beautiful wife in Boston. You'll have to keep us updated. But thank you for being a part of our family. You're in it now. You're stuck with us. You're part of the ALS United family.
No problem with that.
We've got
I'm
you.
happy to be part.
We've Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy, for everything you've done. I wish you the best of luck. I do hope we get to hear about you running another marathon, especially for Team ALS, very soon. But in the meantime, say hi to your family and thank you. Thank you for being a part of this family.
I will. Thank you so much.
Bye. Oh, how I'm telling you, I am so in awe of everybody that can run a marathon. I think it's so incredible. And then when you do it with that passion and that purpose behind it to help other people fighting ALS, it's just next level. So that's incredible. So if any of you are thinking about running a marathon or have run a marathon, but you are thinking about running for a charity, you've heard Jeremy's experience and how much it meant to him, check out our website, alsunited.org. alsunited.org. Check it out. You can find all of the information. There are still bibs left for the Chicago Marathon. If you guys do want to join the team, it is still possible, but they are going very fast. And I wanted to put this up while Jeremy was actually on. But you guys, even though the marathon is over, if you want to save that link, you can still donate to Jeremy's cause. The donation will still be made to his team. Hopefully he'll be running for Team ALS again. So you want to remember to keep that and donate if you want to. Let's help him get even. He already met his goal, but there's no reason we need to stop there. We can keep going up and up and up. Now we're going to dive right into our next guest. Like I said, tonight's theme is about top athletes. I am very jealous and hope that I can be in their company sometime soon. But until then, I'm just going to share all of these beautiful athletes on the show so that you can get to meet them and get to know them. Now, we are being joined by Hyrox athlete who you actually met. Now, if you guys are asking yourself, what is Hyrox? Don't worry. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Now, if you joined our special edition of the show last week, you got to meet Robert. Now, he took his passion for endurance sports and turned it into a purpose. And that purpose is to spread ALS awareness and raise much needed funds for the cause. Now, here to share his why, tell us a little bit more about Hyrox, and to fill us in on his event that just happened over the weekend at Navy Pier, please welcome Hyrox athlete and ALS advocate, Robert Aducci. Robert, welcome back to the show, man.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
Oh, I am fantastic. Long time no see, my friend. We got
Yeah,
to
we have
do a
to, we
really
have to
special
stop meeting
episode
like
last
this.
week. I know. I know. I just can't get enough of you, Robert. I just want to keep having your back all the time, right? I love this. And you got to meet Jeremy tonight for the first time. I think you two are going to hit it off great. You guys can be out there running together.
Yeah, people that do endurance sports, like I said, they're a little bit crazy. So, you tend to have a lot in common, once you start talking.
It's true. And like I said, it's crazy in a good way, though. You guys are my favorite kind of crazy because you have the drive, you have the mentality, you have the passion, you have all of those things. It's crazy in a good way.
Yeah, right. In the best way possible, right?
It really is. Now, I want you to fill us in briefly. Give us a little bit of a rundown on what is Hyrox, because I have a feeling a lot of people watching this right now are asking themselves that very question. What the heck is Hyrox?
Yeah. Like no one knows what Hyrox is. So yeah, happy to explain. So Hyrox is a newer sport. It's part of this revolution in fitness racing called hybrid racing. That's why it's Hyrox, HYROX. High is short for hybrid, which means it's a combination of running and strength. So like running and CrossFit type of thing. So they took the two disciplines, strength and running, and mixed them together in a sport. It started in Germany about 6 years ago and spread like wildfire through Europe. And in the last few years, it's really become popular in the United States and really across the world. It's fastest growing fitness sport in the world. And their events
Wow.
are selling out like real fast, and the sport's
Oh,
doubling and tripling. It's participation. So so it's cool. It's just something new. Like my background is, I've always done, kind of like Jeremy, I've done, you know,
Yeah.
marathons and like long distance running. And I was also doing triathlons, and I was also doing like strength. And I always thought, if somebody would put these things together, wouldn't that be
Mhm.
awesome? So now we have it. And so that's been my focus. I got hooked a couple of years ago, and, uh, and so I've been, training for that. It's a different kind of, fitness challenge, because you have to be, you know, have the aerobic endurance, but you also have to have the strength and the anaerobic conditioning. So it's fun. It's a new challenge, and it gets me going.
I love that. And it's even more than just that training, right? When we were talking before, it's kind of a lifestyle. It kind of encompasses the way that you live your life and the attitude, the way you eat, the way you approach things. It's kind of a full-on lifestyle. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're exactly right. Season. It is a lifestyle. I mean, you could participate in the sport,
Okay.
at any level. But if you really get hooked and you want to try to compete, or at least be the best that you can possibly be, it's hard enough. It just brings out the best in you,
Mhm.
and so it's like, then, in order to do the best you can to optimize your performance, you have to eat right, you have to sleep
Yeah.
right, you have to, avoid toxins like alcohol, and you know your focus has to be
Yeah.
there. Your just, it's you have to have your kind of life, um, structured in such a way where you can dedicate all that time in
Mhm.
recovery. So it's a big commitment. But for me, it's 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 an incredible, uh, tool that I use, that really, I mean, I love everything about it. I love the training,
Mhm.
and it just keeps me on my toes and keeps me focused. And just a better person overall when I'm
Oh,
training and I have a goal,
okay.
and I'm doing my best physically, but
Mhm.
it will invariably make me better, mentally, emotionally, ultimately spiritually, from that energy that the intense training brings.
Wow. Well, and you mentioned gold too, and I think what's really cool is this has already brought a lot of really great things into your life for all of that, right? It keeps you going. It just makes you the best version of yourself. But you took your passion for this and you took it to the next level and turned it in a way to give back to the ALS community. So tell us how you used your passion and turned it into this purpose to spread ALS awareness.
Yeah, so my dear friends, Ed and Michelle Crom. Michelle was diagnosed 3 years ago with ALS, and it's been, quite a journey. Uh, Being close to them, and uh,
Mm.
watching Michelle, go through this. I have some other photos too that I can share. That's Michelle and I in her
Mm.
backyard.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go. So,
I love it.
um,
I love it.
and and the Crom family, like in the midst of this horrible disease, and just terrible
Mm.
situation, they've created just this beautiful community. It's just such love and grace and compassion, and uh, all of us that have been around them and supporting them,
Mm.
uh, have been enlightened and enriched, by the experience. It's been incredible. Like you say, what ALS brings home is life is short. It could happen to
Yeah.
anybody, right? And
Yeah.
uh, so, we're there for Michelle, but then it's even for ourselves. Like, we're all going to die. It's like, it just reinforces, go for the gusto. We only go around once. And so for me, that's Pyrox, just kind of going for it, and and bringing out the best I can be. And so I was trying to think of a way that I could really honor Michelle and do some practical good, raise some money for the cure, and do my passion. And then really, I was inspired by the people that do the Chicago Marathon, and they raise all the money, including ALS. Your organization has a huge,
Yeah.
huge following, and raises huge numbers. So I said, well, I'd like to do that for high rocks. It's a newer sport, doesn't really have that kind of fundraising connection. But I thought, well, maybe I could be the guinea pig and get something started. Maybe we can forge a partnership with High Rocks, fastest growing international sport. Wouldn't that be sweet if you could turn High Rocks into another marathon circuit? Because it is. I mean, in a few years it'll be, just huge participants. I think there's, hopefully, that's my hope is, I did what I did, but hopefully we can leverage it and get a lot more people involved.
I love that. So you just had an event, because we got to talk to you last week, right before your event. So you had an event at Davy Pier, Chicago over the weekend, which I think is really cool to help raise money. Like you were saying, you're bridging that gap and bringing High Rocks into the world of ALS. You used that event to raise money. By the way, I see what's happening behind you. And I would like to tell everybody that when he was on the show last week, I was giving him all kinds of grief and told him he better come back with another first place flag and he better have, won that event. And my friend, you rose to the occasion. You understood the assignment, and I'm seeing a number 1 right behind you. I'm seeing a new flag. What happened there?
It's only because you demanded me, to do it. Yeah. So yeah, if you look over my shoulder, this black flag, that's the one I got 2 years ago when I did the Chicago High Rocks. Was my first event. And then down is the one I just got on Saturday. So it was an out of body experience. When I did the first one 2 years ago, my time was 1 hour and 53 minutes. And so when I was doing this one, I thought, well, it'd be great just to be, just to finish, to finish would be great, because we hit our fundraising goal, which was awesome. And just to be able to finish the event, maybe get under 2 hours would be great, but I don't know what happened. I think it was the power of Michelle, that the power of serving something bigger than yourself. I had a bunch of friends there that showed up, people cheering me on, all day. And it was like an out of body experience. I was just flying around the course and I'm looking at my watch. I go, I think, wow, I'm way ahead of schedule. And I'm thinking, I know I can't be going that fast. I must have skipped something, but sure enough, I did it. And I was 15 minutes faster than the last time. So,
what?
So I set a personal,
that is huge.
Yeah, I set a personal best and then I won my age group again. So I was so tickled. It was like beyond comprehension, I'm still like on a high. That everything worked out, that, we raised the money, that Michelle was just thrilled about everything that went into it. And she unfortunately wasn't able to be there because it's just too tough logistics for wheelchairs. But she was there in spirit, and her husband, Ed, was there, and we had a big group of friends there. And, we had a beer afterwards and we toasted her. But we hit our goal. We hit all the goals, So, and then just the icing, the cherry on top was that I had my best race ever. So, is that a coincidence or is there, something mystical going on there?
I'm good. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it was our show. Just throwing it out there. Just kidding. It was not even a little bit, but congratulations, Robert. That is so, and I did not know that. I did not know that until this very moment when I put you on the screen and I saw that number. So you didn't even tip me off. I had no idea. I got to find out with everybody else right now. I am so proud of you. That is so exciting. 15 minutes off your time is insane. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Am I able to share my screen? If I hit that present.
You can, but you know what? I've got some photos here of kind of what I was going to ask you is so like with a marathon, we know, right? We know you're running and you're running the course. In a High Rocks competition, what exactly is, so you said you shaved 15 minutes off. What are you doing in that time frame? Okay, what does an average High Rocks competition look like?
So High Rocks, unlike a
training.
Unlike a marathon, it's outside. So it's an indoor event. So this is in Navy Pier. There's a festival hall, and they turn the hall. It's like a small convention center, and they turn it into a stadium for the weekend. And so there's a track on the outside, and then they set up stations on the inside. And so there's 8
Amazing.
phases of the race. The first phase is you run a kilometer on the outside, then you come on the inside and you do one of the stations, which maybe, like in this case, that's a wall ball where you got to throw, a wall ball up and hit a target, 100 times, in a row.
What?
So you alternate between running around for a kilometer,
And then you're just pushing things.
yeah, and here's
Crazy heavy things.
so
Woo.
this is the sled push. Then you got to push this heavy sled, back and forth, and so you do that, and your blood pressure, your heart rate goes through the roof, and then you got to run again, and you just keep doing that, running, and then do the strength, and running and do the strength, and that goes on, for eight different times.
Wow. So it's not just your legs that are jelly, your whole body, your arms, your everything is just jelly. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it does. It hits you everywhere. It hits, there's some that are real heavy on the legs, some on the arms, and of course you're running. So it just, kind of wipes you out, overall. But for whatever reason, like I felt great on Saturday. I felt light on my toes.
Wow.
And, I'm 67 years old. That just doesn't happen that often,
Oh my gosh.
but the guys were smiling on me, and it was just, I had a good day, had good energy.
Yeah.
And the place was inside a High Rocks event. They have the music blaring. They have these huge video boards. It's a young person sport. A lot of people with muscles and tattoos running around, and they have it pumped up. They have DJs, and you go in there, and it's like, holy cow! It's almost overwhelming. The energy, it's like a production, and so it's like, let's go. You just, like I think even Jeremy was talking about, like the beginning of a marathon. It's like that.
Yeah.
Well, in High Rocks, the whole thing is like that. Like you're in a pressure cooker, and you're just going along, and the crowd is going wild, and the crowd is right on top of you, and all the participants are running really hard, and everybody's giving it their all. It's something to see. It's something to check out.
Oh my God. So what because you said you hit your fundraising goal. I think you even exceeded that. What was the final number? What were you able to bring in from your High Rocks event?
Yeah. So the goal was 10,000, and I got like 11.
Wow.
So,
Dude.
So it was okay. Like next time we'll do better,
No. Oh my goodness. Is there better than this? Right? You blew your goal out of the water. You took first place. You crushed it. You absolutely crushed it, Robert. You are my idol. I hope I can do this when I am 67, and I hope I get to say I'm taking first place in some kind of extreme events like this. You are a superstar, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Susan.
Yeah.
It was, what a journey. But like, it's not too often in life where you get a payoff like this, where just everything works, and it put a smile on Michelle's face, and that was the best payoff of all.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I am so in awe of you. Thank you again. Like you and Jeremy, you guys are absolute superstars. Thank you guys for literally pushing your bodies to the absolute limit in the name of trying to raise awareness and helping those with ALS. I think you guys are absolute heroes for what you do. So thank you. I am so proud of you, Robert. Congratulations on first place. That is amazing. You'll have to keep us up to date. I can't wait to have you back. You're part of the Sunflower Hour family now too. So I can't wait to have you back to keep us updated on all of these great things. Do you have another event? What's coming up next for you for High Rocks?
All right. So for High Rocks, I have an event February 1st in Phoenix. It's going to be really cool. This recent event was in Navy Pier. This next event's going to be in Phoenix at State Farm Stadium, which is their NFL facility. So it'd be like going to Soldier Field in Chicago, and they're going to set up the state, their thing there. So that'll be cool. So I've got that one, and then there's this other race called DECA, DEKA. That's kind of like a High Rocks light. It's a little easier. It's a little shorter. And in 3 weeks in Fort Lauderdale, I was able to qualify for their World Championships. So I'm doing the DECA World Championships in a couple weeks in Fort Lauderdale. So just keep going.
Keep going, man. Keep going. I want to hear. Keep me updated. I want to see. I want that wall of flags to just keep growing. I want to
I'll have
see
to
those
get a
number ones just stacking up.
I'll have to get a bigger kitchen, I guess, when I get too many flags.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to need to add on to your house. You need to build an entire room to celebrate all of your victories and your
Yeah.
number one flags. I think this is incredible. As well, your link is also still live. So even though the
Yeah,
event
yeah,
is
link is still
over,
live, and
yep.
yeah, it'd be great to get get a little more in there, and
Mhm.
it all goes to the best cause, right?
Oh, from your words, man, all the way straight up there. Thank you for everything, guys. Check that link out, save it, screenshot it, whatever you want to do. Robert's still got some incredible events coming up, one in February just around the corner. So if you do want to donate to his cause, you want to help push him. I mean, look at your donations, you guys jumping in and helping him reach his goal. It helped give him that extra pep in his step, motivation, and got him to number one. So keep those donations coming, keep that inspiration, keep sharing that love. And Robert, and keep doing what you're doing. You are absolutely incredible. I am just so excited for you. I am so proud of you. I hope you win. I hope you win again, man. Let's keep bringing it home. Let's keep this trend going.
Yeah. Well, Season, thank you, and thank you for the great job you do. Your passion is so powerful, and you create such positive energy for your organization. So it's a pleasure to do this with you.
Thank you. That is so sweet. I think it's like when you do what you love, right? Like the
Right.
passion you have for High Rocks, for these competitions, for your friend Michelle, for raising awareness. It's the same thing I feel like we will not stop. And we truly mean that, right? This is a life for all of us. We will not stop until we put an end to this disease. So I can't wait for the day that we get to do our final show and get to say, guys, we did it. It's like we did it.
Yeah.
We've got the cure. We are shutting the doors. We've done this.
Yeah. You guys aren't going to stop, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going uh, till I drop, and hopefully do some good in between.
Oh, Robert, thank you. Thank you for everything you have done. Congratulations. You are a stinking rock star, my friend. So keep that up. I just joined a gym and I'm gonna have my little Robert on my shoulder every time I feel like
All
this.
right.
I'm
Well,
gonna remember
I'm
Robert
going to
can
check
do
in on
this.
you, and we're gonna get a 5K in your schedule.
Oh, you're saying some big words right now, but I won't say no. I will say I'm going to strive for the best. I'm going to strive for the best. So
Okay.
thank you. Thank you, Robert. You are incredible. Good luck at your events coming up. I want to see some more number ones, man. Thanks for everything you do.
All right. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah. Okay, I told you we had some incredible athletes, but I'm so glad you got to meet both Robert and Jeremy tonight. They are doing such amazing things, and like I said, pushing themselves to the absolute limit, all in the name of ALS awareness. That is so incredible. If you guys want to dive in, if you want to be a part of their journey and you want to donate, make sure you go back to those links and get all of that information so that you can be a part of their journey. And until next time, guys, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Happy holidays to everybody. We will see you back here for another live episode in December. I cannot wait. And until then, guys, enjoy your life, live to the fullest. As we've said, do the things, check off the things on those bucket lists, and be bright and shine your light. We'll see you guys next month.